What is going on, guys? In today's video I'm gonna try to film my review on these taillights here that I just got. It's actually once again Florida weather has won this battle. It is raining right now. Yeah, video is not getting filmed today, or at least right now for a fact. I'm gonna continue the review on these taillights. I've been trying to get this video out for a while now, but we've been having like really bad weather in Florida. Anyway, we'll be looking at these taillights, talking about the pros, the cons. Not too many, but there is a few cons that you should look out for, and if you should buy these or not if you have a 2013 to 2016 Ford Fusion. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So to really start off, the overall appearance of these lights are really nice. I personally really like it, and I think with my car especially it goes really well with the silver, and then what I have going on for the rest of the car being the black accents and everything else. They look really slick, especially in the day, and then even in the night it looks smoked, but it's really not. This housing right here is clear, and then it's the inner pieces that were painted in a gloss black, and then you have this little red stripe right here, which is basically your running lights or your park lights and whatever else. These function as your brake lights, and then for the SE models, if you have an SE spec Fusion, these will come when you install them. These will already be on, so while this is on, these 4 quadrants will also be on, and that is because of the programming built into the SE. Now if you have a titanium spec, when you turn it on, only this will be on. So that's just a little difference between the SE and the titanium. Another thing to notice is that if on the SE, you will have these here becoming your turn signals. So while you have your sequential, this is a sequential little inner piece right here, you also have this here that also blinks along with it. But if you program it to the MONDEO spec through ForScan, that will be able to change. For the titanium, you will have the same problem where these 4 quadrants are also blinking, but otherwise these are not really on unless you hit your brakes. So like I said, this is a sequential turn signal right here embedded into this red stripe right there. So when you turn on your turn signals, it kind of flows along with it, and I think that's just a really cool feature. The downside of that, and I'll go over the cons first before I get to the pros, is that it is not very bright. And the clip that I'm gonna overlay shows how it looks and everything like that with it on and everything else. And one of the reasons I have opted to not do the programming as yet is because of how dim it is during the day, especially with like bright sunlight. I live in Florida and we get some pretty bright sun that hits the car and the outside. So this, you not being able to see this, first off, you can probably get a ticket from it from the cops if they can't really notice it. And secondly, a person might not be seeing you turn in even though you have it on, and then you can probably get into an accident or something along those lines. So I have opted to not program it. So these 4 quadrants also blink with the sequential. So that's just something to bear in mind if you do get these, and if you do want to pursue the programming. It's going to be a little bit dim in broad daylight, but in the night I found it to be quite bright. So that's just one thing to look into. It does change the appearance of your car, and I think for the better. It looks amazing. It's full LEDs. We went over how the LEDs work. You got the sequentials and everything like that. So it creates just a really nice look, a really modern look for a car such as this, especially the age on these compared to the newer generation of them. Especially if you don't have the LEDs. So with the higher trims, it comes with a LED circle outlay on the lights. If you don't have that and you just have the base trim, then these will be a very good option for you if you do want to upgrade. And then it does come with some nice features as well. You can actually see a really good glimpse of it in the shade versus when you do have it in the sun, how it looks. It's very, very nice. It's plug and play. You do need some programming, but that's all optional. That's if you do want to go that extra route. There's that, but you don't really need to. Out the box, you can just fit it in. You just have to transfer some pieces over from your previous taillights over to these, and it simply is just putting it, bolting it on, and you're set to go. I have the video. If you guys want to see the video, do click up at the top of this video to see the unboxing, installation, and then just a little demo on how these lights work. Another con of these lights is that the reverse is not very bright, and almost to the point where you're not going to be able to see it too well unless it's night or you're at it from like an angle, maybe like around here. And the reason why that is if you look up in the light, there's the LED right there, if you guys can see. And then, so it's like a multi-functioning reverse light. So there's a reverse light, and then there's also something called a fog light. So that can be on, and these are fully functional. The American spec never came with fog lights, so those aren't really working. But that's like one con. You're not gonna be able to see the reverse light too well unless it's night and you're at it from an angle. But it is viewable, but it's not the best. So that's one con of these lights that I've run into. Another one is that there seems to be a little bit of a loose in the seal. It's kind of not, so there's not any sort of condensation in it right now, but every time I wash my car or something like that, there is a bit of condensation that would get in from this area and a little bit from like right here. But that's what happens when you go aftermarket. You do not get the best quality, but for the price you pay for these, I think it holds up pretty well. And I had it on the car maybe for like, I want to say 3 to 4 months now, maybe even less. I'm not sure. It's been flying by pretty fast. But these lights have been doing very, very well, and they have a lot of function. They're a head turner, and there's a lot more pros than there is cons. Those are the only two cons that I can find with these lights. The reverse being one, the sequentials being two, that it's not bright enough. Other than that, these lights are really decently built. Aside from the little bit of condensation, it's pretty well built, and it does turn heads. All the LEDs seem to be working perfectly fine. I'll have like inserts of what all these look like, and it does also have this cool feature. When you unlock your car, it also animates. So that's a little cool, like Audi-esque type little feature there. But other than that, these lights overall, I'll give it a solid 8.5 out of 10 on pretty much all the scales, because these lights are really good, and they're not too expensive at all. I was able to grab these for maybe I want to say, if I remember correctly, just under 400 bucks, which is not bad for some aftermarket lights at all for this car. This car does not have a lot of aftermarket parts back in it. So when these lights came out, I had to grab them, see what they look like, and they're amazing. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've drove on the roads and people were just like breaking their necks trying to figure out, oh, what this is. And even in the night, they're like, whoa, is that like a Porsche? What is going on? So it is pretty cool. for what it is. I'm gonna end the video right now. As for if you should get these taillights, I would highly recommend you do, especially if you want to change the appearance of your car, if you have a lower trim and you want some LED capabilities and you just want to enhance the look on the rear of your car. I think these work perfectly, and for that reason you should grab them, especially right now. I think the price dropped tremendously from when I bought them, because now there's just a lot of people selling them, so the market is very competitive at the moment. So you should definitely grab them, try them out for yourself. Worst case, you don't like them, and then you can send them back. And also you do have that extra step where you could have them programmed to work correctly. And if you have someone that has the software called Forescan, but you do not need it. I want to stress that, because I see a lot of people ask the question if you need it, and you don't need it. If you have it, it's good to do it, because then you have less lights coming up, but you don't need it. You can use these lights without that Forescan software. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna end the video. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, do comment, subscribe, and share this video so that it can get out, more people can see it. And without further ado, I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you, guys. Peace.